Howdy folks, welcome back to the shed. It is now Saturday the 9th of July 2022, and what we have today is a bit of an odd livery really. This is Wrexham and Shropshire. Why? Well, I just like the livery. The dark grey and the silver really does something. I don't know what it is, but it was a very short-lived actual railway, Wrexham and Shropshire, but there are remnants of it that you can see even today in the new Chiltern livery, which, if we look over here, there is a class 68. This is a second-hand one, which is pretty good. The only problem I got with that is that there's no windscreen wiper on one end. But as you can see, the livery is very, very similar, with the dark grey and the silver, to the opposing 67, which is in the Wrexham and Shropshire livery. Very, very similar. So I'm hoping somebody will come out with some carriages for Chiltern Railways in that silver livery. So I'll definitely have some of those. Yes, a second-hand Daypole 68, and it is running extremely well. Quiet, slow running, marvellous. Somebody asked me just recently why we went to such lengths to have such large radiuses. Well, it starts with this, which is American Authors Classic Heavyweight Coach. And if you look on the side of it, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but the magic word there where it says minimum radius of 24 inches recommended. And really, for me, that set the bar. I thought, okay, I won't go below 24 inches. And I tried one around a lesser track, second, third radius curves, and it derailed, as they suggest it would. So 24 inches, okay, that's the absolute minimum. If we have a look over here, there is a Pico Streamline small radius point, and that is 24 inches. So that was the absolute minimum. The rest of them are quite generous. I mean, that's either medium or long, that double slip. Over here there's a couple of long points with very generous radius on them. So that was really the benchmark, and anything wider than that would look more and more realistic, so that was what I went for. The only place I deviated from that was over here, which is this very, very narrow, so you can see that backman on this little siding here. That was the only place I deviated, and I think that is a second radius curve there, which is using standard Pico set track second radius stuff. So that was the only deviation, and it was just space. I needed a little head shunt for the network rail yard here, so that was the thinking behind that one. And most small things can get round it, trucks and wagons, stuff like that, which is designed for train set curves, I suppose. So yeah, it's okay generally. As long as I don't run a big boy around there, I should be alright. Or indeed one of those. Okay. Excuse me. Beverage of choice this afternoon is a rather nice John Smith's in a fancy glass, and yeah, looks pretty good. I'll be drinking that in a while, you can rest assured. Now, I did have a bit of difficulty getting hold of the Wrexham and Shropshire coaches and rolling stock. The 67 you see there was picked up at Alexandra Palace in March. Obviously after COVID things had started again, and really we did go to town a bit, and I just liked it, and then I started collecting the bits from there. Next up came the DVT, because it was really expensive on the E of the Bay. And I thought, well, 100 odd pounds a coach, that's a little unrealistic, but it was pretty short lived, and I don't think there's much chance of Hornby ever doing any more of these coaches, so you're going to have to grab them where you can find them. Anyway, the one you see on there is, let me just grab this, let's see, not sure how well you can see that, but it's an R4470A, Wrexham and Shropshire Mark III Standard Coach 12117. And that's the one that's on there at the moment. And since then I've managed to scrape together another, and this one is a slightly different number. This is just without the A, it's A4470 Wrexham and Shropshire Mark III Standard Coach 12145 is the running number. And the acid test for any coach is to give it a gentle roll. I gave the wheels a clean because it's second hand, and yeah, that should speak for itself. So really just a gentle roll and the coach should do the rest, which it does admirably. So yeah, coaches are designed to roll and roll freely, and this should be perfectly adequate for what I need. So I'm going to expand the train, so if I just stop that there for a second, stop, and it stopped. Right, now as long as I don't get photo bombed, I should be alright. We'll just pop in the trusty old trying uncoupler, give ourselves a bit of room, move that aside, and we'll just pop this one into the rake. It's just running on DC. I haven't DCC'd any of these at the moment, but that will be coming all in good time. There we go. Just get that all together and off we should go. Are you ready? So are we. Now I'm not sure I want to go any bigger with this train, because obviously, although we've got a station which is over here and it's back together now, that should fit nicely in the confines of the platforms that we've got. Obviously the Deltic there is probably on the longest of the platforms, which just about squeezes in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches and the engine. And this one should fit it quite nicely. It seems to be just about the right size of train in my eyes, and because it's got that DVT, which should have some working lights on the back, just see, yellow. Yeah, I think that's about right. Any longer than that, yeah, maybe not. So that might be it as it is. Now I could, in theory, bring the 68 to bear on that train. Obviously it hasn't got Wrexham and Shropshire written on the side. That is smooth though. You have to hand it to Daypole, that is their best model to date. And putting some Daypole containers behind it, and there's the Backman version, and it's all very sedate and very nice. Right, okay, that's me back in the shed, and this is our update. I just thought I'd show you these as well. These are, what's written on the side there? Is that Mermaid? Yeah, these are Mermaid Wagons. And if you look on the side there, it's got some chain detail on there, a la Deltic, on each of the wagons, which is really, really good. And also these pilchard wagons, these obviously belong to Richard. And the detail on them is fabulous. I think those are the Backman ones actually. And this one, which is, I believe, that is a ballast spreader brake van. I'm not sure who makes that one. I think it's called a Shark. But there you are. That's the update for this week. And it's a lovely day out there. Really nice. Temperature up in the 80s. What can go wrong? I'm now going to drink my beer. So cheers everybody. Have a good one. Bye.